came to Detroit, you know, hoping, leaving the South, they come north and actually be able to use their degree. So in my family, my father, who had a degree in engineering, worked at the post office his whole life, which we, in black communities, call that graduate school, because you get a degree, then you go work at the post office. You know, back in the 50s, you know.
And Dudley did that too.
Yeah, Dudley did. Dudley Roundel. I mean, that was considered a good job, you know. But it's not a job where you should need a degree in engineering to do it, obviously. But the point and the sort of the attitude about education in my family, and my grandparents were college educated and so on, was the fact that you went to college because, and this is the same, that's something that the white man can't take away from you, is knowledge. And so the whole attitude of learning was about knowing and taking advantage of, you know, what God gave you. And it didn't necessarily mean you were going to be able to do whatever, but what's most important was you don't want to be ignorant, and you don't want to get, as we say, get played. And sometimes it works out, but I mean, you look at it and it's like 2 generations later, my son is an engineer. Now it takes that long for something like that, you know, to occur. And but at the same time, you know, my son is now self-employed. He had a job, and now he's just like all the rest. You know, a lot of other folks. You got a degree from Michigan Engineering, and you're out of work. And that's why I think it's important to keep this perspective, because you have to remember, you know, like we say, you know, if somebody's signing your check, you know, you're working class, and don't fool yourself into thinking.
Well, you know, and another thing that is true. I mean, and I'm just thinking about the words from a friend's poem, which you know fits this situation too. He says, look, if you had, and this is talking about what you're talking about, look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? And that's Eminem's from his poem. But, I mean, that's part of it, too. It doesn't mean you want to grass up, become famous, and have big cars. It just means, you know, you look at that chance that, you know, you have a degree, you become a postman, but you still have a degree, you know. And that could be okay, too, for people. My grandmother who raised me would always say, two things she thought. One, if I could get a job like Uncle Andy's, and I talk about that, and Uncle Andy was a garbage man in Detroit. If I could get a good job like that, I'd be all right. You know, you won't have to worry about it, because Uncle Andy was making some good money, you know. And then the other thing that was big to her, and it's kind of funny nowadays, but is, or if you didn't do what Uncle Andy did, if you could get a job at Sears, because you know she bought all her washers, dryers, refrigerators.
You get the discount.
Yeah, you get the discount, and you're working for one of the great. And I did get a job as a college student at Sears. I was like, I think she was prouder of me that than a college degree. She said, "Damn, you're working. My boy works at Sears." You know, so that was big for her. You know, that's the kind, and that's the working class. That kind of stuff. It's not earth-shattering things. It's like your grandson works at Sears. That's big. You understand? I mean, that's and that's kind of the essence of this. I brought a couple of copies. We're kind of over the Humanities Center time schedule, and I got to do a performance somewhere. But let me mention to you that if any of you want, and you're kind of around the east side tonight, we'll be at the south campus of Macomb College on 12 Mile Road, in the library there, which is right off the parking lot. There'll be some poets. James Reese is a good working class poet from South Dakota. And I'll be doing some poetry and music with Peter Lewis from Moby Grape and some others. And it's free, so between 6 and 8.
Yeah, and also if you're not out.
Oh, there's another thing. Yes, I'm sorry.
That's right.
I would have kept my mouth shut. If you're more down in this area or west side.
Campus and you're down, you know, and before you want to go home.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7 o'clock at the Virgil Carr Center. Adrian's going to be reading with about 3 or 4 other poets in the.
And Gabrielle Calicavaresi, who's a terrific poet, lives in L.A. And then there's one other person too, Deanne.
Jamal.
Oh, Deanne Witowski.
Yeah.
She's cool.
That's what I
Yeah.
know.
So you know what? I even say if you're more down here or not so extreme east side, this would be a good one because what I caught of your act, I really liked.
Thank you.
And Diane Witkowski, if anybody's seen her before, she's just incredible. She's hilarious. You'll see tonight. She's really fun. She doesn't mean to be. She's just like a Woody Allen reading poetry. She's a neurotic mess, and she's wonderful.
311 East Grand River, which is where they used to be called Harmony Park. They call it Paradise Valley, and this is part of the Robert Hayden series, so you can't miss that.
Yeah, it's a really great place. We love the place, Melvin and I. It's the Virgin, and it's right between, say, the Opera House and the Music Hall.
Yeah, Madison.
It just dips in a little bit there.